I'm Corey Sanders, and I'm excited to be bringing you a very, very special edition of my show, Tuesdays with Corey. It's not only special because today's actually a Wednesday, but more important because I have the pleasure of having Ann Johnson, CVP of Microsoft's Cybersecurity Solutions Group, joining me here. And as the leader of the Cyber Solutions Group, you have a huge responsibility to help our customers unlock the security, compliance, and identity capabilities of the intelligent cloud. Tell me what you've been most excited to share with everyone at Ignite and what's happening around these really important solution areas.
You know, Corey, it's been a great Ignite for security, compliance, and identity. Kirk Koenigsbauer issued a blog right before the event, talked about our top 10 announcements we made in security, compliance, and identity.
And he had to cut it off, too. There were many more.
There are many more, but those 10 were just highlighting. And things like the improvements we made in Azure Active Directory. You know, we're giving the Authenticator free with AAD now, so that's amazing. We've completely reimagined My Apps to make it easier for the apps to be exposed for users to provision with AAD. We've introduced our compliance score, which is a huge thing to do.
Awesome.
If you think about how Secure Score works, right? Compliance score is going to give you the compliance posture of your environment, plus the improvements you can make. And I'm really excited about our Insider Risk Manager. 53% of our customers tell us that they've had an insider threat, so now we're going to give them a tool within Microsoft 365 to manage those threats.
That's awesome, and those are just some of the
Those are some of the highlights, yeah. There's many more.
Yes, there's many more, and we'll get the chance to talk through some of those. So you gave a session here the first day, right? You sort of kicked off the keynote when it came to security, identity, and compliance. You know, what were some of the most exciting things you talked about in that session that maybe people haven't yet seen it, you can now get them excited about going to go watch it?
I would love them to watch it. So I have the pleasure of leading this team called the DART team, or the Detection and Response team, and that's Microsoft's customer incident response team. So if a customer is breached, our folks go on site and help them remediate from that breach. I talked about the learnings from DART. I talked about the common things we see in breaches. I talked about being cyber resilient by putting controls in place, and how that ultimately can make our customers operationally resilient, so their business operations won't go down in the event of a massive cyber attack.
Right, and so you and your team have a very unique perspective on sort of what customers need, and that's then feeding into a lot of the product announcements, things like the security score, which we've had, but then the compliance score, which is very interesting. Yeah,
we take learnings from the DART team. We did over 200 customer engagements last year, so we take those learnings. We take learnings from our own Cyber Defense Operations Center, from our malware research team, from our threat hunting team, and from the Digital Crime Center. We put all that stuff into our products and also into best practices that we publish.
That's awesome. That's so cool. And this is global, right? You're out there talking with customers all over the world. You spend a lot of time on airplanes.
I do.
And so, tell me a little bit more about sort of that global customer experience that you end up getting to have.
It's fantastic. People ask me where I live, and I always say I live on seat 3D on Delta. I get to go around. I literally go around the world. So I'm going to Australia next month, and I'm going to meet with some of our largest customers there. We're also launching a series that we're calling the State of Cybersecurity there. So we're doing a workshop for our customers there. I was in the UK with one of our customers doing a video series with them that we actually showed this week. It's part of our CISO Spotlight with Emma Smith, who's the Chief Security Officer at Vodafone. It's a fun, I have a great job, by the way, you know this. I have a really fun job. I have a great job.
I'm jealous of your job all the time, actually. That's fun. So get the chance to meet with a lot of those customers. Changing gears just a little bit, because I know you've done obviously these sessions here on security and compliance and identity, but you've also done some other sessions here, and there's a large booth here for people who aren't here on site. There's a large diversity inclusion booth here, showing a lot of really wonderful stories from people. I know you've done a couple sessions here. Tell me a little bit about what it means to you and sort of what your sessions have been about and sort of what the response has been from the attendees here as you talk through that.
Yeah, it's been amazing. So as a woman who's been in tech for over 30 years, right? I've never done anything else. I have a perspective on it, right? From where we are at the beginning to where we are now. And we have improved a lot, but we still have a ways to go. And you know, it was heartening because the first panel I did, which was future-proofing against bias in tech, we had over 1,000 registrants for a room that only fit 300 people.
Wow.
It was sold out. And I had these brilliant panelists who were just talking about their perspective about diversity and inclusion, but also the tech itself, how we make sure that we don't build bias into machine learning or artificial intelligence. And then I did another panel just yesterday, it was all women. So we all talked about the challenges challenges. And I had these really amazing, high-powered professional women who were degreed and credentialed, and they just talked about the fact, one woman who was sitting next to me who, you can imagine, she's got 2 doctorates, she's got multiple certifications, and she still gets this, oh, I'm not sure you're qualified. And it was like, come on, folks, it's 2019, let's get past that stuff, right?
Yeah. So you mentioned future-proofing bias. Do you mind just giving a little bit more detail on sort of what that is and why that's so meaningful?
Sure, and I'll take you to an example we have today and kind of apply it, something that everyone can understand. So if you're a woman like me, who I'm not normally in pink, 99.9% of the time I'm in black.
Well, and they can't see your shoes, but you've also got fantastic pink, sparkly shoes.
Pink shoes on too.
I feel like I need a pair.
Yes, we'll get you one.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
But if you go into the ladies' room and you have those automatic faucets,
yes.
If you're wearing a lot of black, you cannot get the faucet turned on. It takes effort. And what we've learned through studies is they actually didn't test those faucets with people with color.
Wow.
So people with color, it's even worse for them. Every time they walk up, they have it. So take that then and apply it to the models we're building for machine learning or artificial intelligence. If you're not actually having the diverse populations involved in the creation of that intelligence and the creation of those data sets, and you're not, and I don't mean just testing on them, but having them actually involved in the creation, you're not going to have diverse outcomes. We'd like to say that our diverse problems need to be solved by diverse people, or else you get into this groupthink environment.
Right, right. And so that's both driving not just the way in which we work, but also driving the way in which products need to be thought through.
Correct.
And that's sort of the idea about this future-proofing bias. Interesting.
Somebody talked about the Xbox controller. I thought it was a great example, the new Xbox controller for ability, right? That they actually had folks that were disabled involved in the actual product development. And that's why it was such a fantastic tool when it came to market. And that's how we need to think. Not everyone who's developing should look the same, have the same socioeconomic background, have the same educational background. You actually need a much more diverse development team.
Yeah, fantastic. And the key thing that you're sort of pushing here at this conference is that it's not just about Microsoft products that need to be built this way, but it's actually end customers as they're designing their solutions. They need to take advantage and think about this as part of their design today.
Absolutely.
Very interesting. Okay, I have to ask, because I think people are probably wondering why there's this this guy here. What can you explain a little bit about what this dinosaur?
It's a dinosaur.
Is? Okay. Is this a statement about me and my perspective on security, that I'm a dinosaur? Is that what this means?
No.
Okay, fine.
But
take that shot.
That's a funny comment.
It is a funny. Thank you.
So this is Cyber, the cybersecurity dinosaur, and actually, a few years ago, there are several. You may not realize this. There's many dinosaurs at Microsoft. There's a gentleman who's on the E&D tools team who actually develops them, and he sent me one. He said, "You need a cybersecurity dinosaur that travels the world with you, talks to customers." But his name is Cyber.
Okay.
And
good name.
Cyber's pitch is, if you don't modernize your security, you're going to become extinct.
Oh.
Because you're going to have a massive outage. And believe it or not, people laugh. They're like, they get it. And it kind of breaks the ice for those really tough security conversations. So CyberCode presents with me quite a bit.
Okay, good. And so what did Cyber like the most about the conference?
Cyber got to meet, you're going to laugh, there's like 7 or 8 of the dinosaurs are here.
Oh, they're all here.
So Cyber got to meet a large population
is it a he,
of Cyber's peers.
Okay.
They're all genders.
They're all genders.
Also got to meet Rob is here, the creator of the dinosaurs. Rob was in SBC last year, our Standards of Business Contact internally at Microsoft, with his dinosaur that's called Freddy. So Cyber got to see everyone and was just really excited.
That's fantastic. That's great. So, and you talked a lot about your keynote, and you talked a lot about some of the announcements. If you sort of had to pick your favorite announcement for us to go a little bit deeper on, what would you say it would be?
Oh,
that's a tough question, isn't it?
That's a really tough question. I would say one that's out of my space and one that's in my space.
Perfect.
I'll let you go deep on the Azure Arc announcement.
Sure.
But insider risk management.
Okay.
It is such a massive problem for our customers, and we've brought a really great solution to market, but not only a solution, it's fully integrated with Microsoft 365.
Right.
So we've brought a solution that's integrated with the productivity tools they use today. And when I was in the booth, I stopped by the booth yesterday, the 2 things that were surrounded were Azure Sentinel, which I have a lot of passion about, our cloud-native SIEM, and the insider risk management. Those were the 2 solutions that people just couldn't get enough of. Yeah,
so tell me a little bit, so Sentinel, which isn't new at this conference, but tell me a little bit about what customers' reactions are to Sentinel, how they're using it, sort of what we're seeing in just a couple months since it's been GA, right?
I know.
It's been pretty amazing.
As you know, the uptick on it, well, we had 12,000 customers and 2 petabytes of data in public preview.
Yes.
We went GA the end of September, and we're seeing customers roll it out for things like modernizing their SOC, so all up modernizing their SOC, We're seeing them roll it out for managing their Microsoft Defender ATP workloads.
Right.
They're integrating with Azure Security Center to give the holistic posture of their environment. They're managing third parties because we built so many connectors. As a matter of fact, this week we announced the Citrix, the Barracuda, and the Zscaler connector.
Oh, fantastic.
So we'll continue to bring, we have a ServiceNow integration, so they're using it for workflow. It's a really extensible product.
And so all those connectors allow them to basically use this single location to bring all these data sources in and then run sort of a single view of their security across the entire landscape.
Both inside and outside of Microsoft.
And so then, perfect actually. And so the other announcement, the insider announcement that you made, does that integrate with, is that sort of a part of that overall story?
It does,
Okay.
and as you know, we're giving the Office 365 feeds for free into Sentinel,
Right.
and we're fully integrated with all of Microsoft 365. So you could take those insider feeds and you could do even deeper analysis and correlate it with other things that are happening in your environment to really see if Corey as an insider is posing a threat to the environment.
Got it. So you can take that as a data source.
Yeah.
Other external sources and bring them all together and get
Correct.
that analytics. Very cool and very unique actually in the market.
It is very unique.
So you mentioned a little bit about Compliance Score. I know Secure Score has been out there for a while. Tell me a little bit, you talk with customers all the time. How are customers using Secure Score? Because I see a lot of excitement from customers, which I find, it's funny to me that sort of there's so much excitement about having a score that Microsoft tells you about your security. But tell me how you're seeing customers use it and whether that excitement is warranted.
No, the excitement's warranted. Look, customers want to simplify their security operations. They're used to managing this massive plethora of vendors, right? They want to simplify that. And Secure Score gives them a really simple view across the entirety of their Microsoft estate. It shows them their security posture, but it also, the most important thing it does, it tells them the top 10 to 20 things they need to do to improve that posture.
They can
With
make
MFA
changes.
typically on the top of the list. We want people using MFA 100% of the employees 100% of the time. They're not there yet, but it will tell them. It will give them very prescriptive guidance. Say, here are the 10 to 20 things you need to do in your environment to improve the security posture of your estate. It's a really simple tool for them to use. It's really simple to understand, and we give them the controls.
Got it. And then is there an opportunity for them to sort of look out at the overall industry and say, great, so this is my Secure Score, but is that good? Like, how do they know whether they're sort of in a good range for this score?
So it's a great question. They can certainly talk to their peers, but we don't. There's a lot of privacy elements to that,
Sure.
so we don't share necessarily the Secure Scores above the audience. But they talk to their peers. They're all competitive.
They all talk
all
to each other.
All these CISOs know each other. They're all competitive.
So we've created a little bit of a gamification behind the scenes
Correct.
with Secure Score. Got it. And so that does a little bit of how the security score works. What has Compliance Score added to that? Like, what is it? You mentioned MFA and sort of locking down access controls and so on. Now, what is Compliance Score adding to the mix that's now new here?
So Compliance Score is actually going to give you that posture of compliance and regulations across your environment. So it's customizable. So it needs to understand what regulations you have to be compliant with.
Okay.
There are 200 new global regulations come out daily, by the way. Yeah. So customers are really
like multinational customers must be really struggling to keep up.
They are really struggling to keep up. This will give them, again, simplification of a view that says, okay, here's where you're at from a compliance standpoint, and by the way, here's the things you need to do to improve. Whether it's data classification and labeling, whether it's encryption, whether it's the hold your own key type stuff, it'll give them that predictive look at the environment, say, here's the things you need to do to improve.
Got it. Okay, and so then it handles more of that classification and data tracking that then goes along with those international changes and rules that are happening all the time. Wow. Must be really, really challenging for folks to keep up. So it's good that we're seeing that. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and one of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about that I know is very exciting is you have a podcast.
I do.
Tell me a little bit about your podcast and sort of what topics you discuss and what people can learn from that, actually.
So we started a podcast. We just launched Monday.
Right.
Afternoon Cyber Tea with Ann Johnson. So we're spilling the tea on cybersecurity.
Interesting.
And
okay.
we have brought in global thought leaders.
And it's on Monday, so it doesn't conflict with my terrible show on
Well,
Tuesday.
actually, it's a podcast.
Oh, it's a podcast.
So it's available. We just launched it Monday.
Okay, you launched it Monday. Got it. Okay, great.
So we started with Mark Goodman, who's the author of Future Crimes, who does a lot of work in thinking about the sociology of cybersecurity and actually the criminal aspects globally. The second episode is a woman named Jane Franklin. Might be second or third. I can't remember the order.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
But she is a leader in diversity in cybersecurity. She's a well-known leader in diversity. And then we have Andrea Little-Lamago, who's a social scientist and a cybersecurity expert, to kind of talk about that intersection of social science and cybersecurity. So we're really trying to take a different dimension, not just a technical conversation, but really how is cyber impacting the world.
Got it. And so give me a little bit, a little bit more on sort of when you think about how cyber is impacting the world, like what's top of mind to you about sort of how, because this entire area is shifting so big, so fast, right? I think when you think about like 2 years ago, cyber was probably not a topic in any of the keynotes, right?
Yeah.
And now it's got its own dedicated keynote. I mean, it's like, it's becoming such a critical topic for so many companies that it's inevitable to have this social impact. When you think about the direction and sort of the social impact of what cyber will mean for the world, right? So like what's sort of top of mind for you? And then it'll be interesting to listen to your podcast as we hear some of your guests and their top of mind as well.
For me, it's two dimensions. One is those wholesale attacks like we saw at Maersk that can bring down your business operation and cost you millions of dollars over just a short period of weeks.
Right.
That's number one. How do we prevent those? How do we make those so that customers can be resilient and recover from them very quickly?
Yeah.
The other thing is, how can cyber enable different things, like bring businesses into different markets? Is there a cyber angle to things like delivering clean water, clean food supplies, right? There are a lot of aspects to cyber that are actually very socially integrated because you can't do certain things unless you know you can do them securely. Right. So how can we actually use cyber to be a lot more predictive when we're trying to open a business in a regional world that we think maybe is less safe, or we're trying to deliver goods in a regional world in time of a crisis that we think is less safe? How can both the physical security element marry the cybersecurity element and be very predictive? So it's both those things. It's how can we use cyber for good, but also how can we avoid these wholesale attacks and help customers recover quickly?
Very interesting. And the picture that you drew there is very much of taking our knowledge of cyber and overlaying AI as part of this to make this predictive. When you look at some of the cyber progress that we've made over the last few years and then the direction that we're going, how important and how influential is AI into some of the improvements that we've made and some of the ways that we're able to help customers?
So I wrote a series of blogs last fall on, and I called it the pragmatic use of AI in cybersecurity.
I love it.
Everybody was talking about, like, it was kind of becoming a buzzword.
Sort of like a magic, like Terminator sort of thing.
Exactly.
Right?
I said, look, there are things we can actually do, and I'll give you one example. All of our customers are concerned about IoT. It's one of their top concerns, right? So
from a security perspective, or just all up?
From a security perspective. Management.
Got it. Because it's just tons of devices globally, and how the heck do you do that?
And they're unmanaged. They don't know what's coming on their network. I said, in theory, we could use artificial intelligence, should be able to see even a previously unknown device or a previously unclassed device. They're all going to behave a certain way. They all should interact with the environment in a certain way. Right. And using artificial intelligence, we should be able to detect if that device is both behaving in a predictive way and interacting in the environment in a different way. And then we can let it on the environment, or we can move it into a place where we can quarantine it, inspect it, test it, make sure it's the right device, and then move it back on.
And are you trying to test there for sort of like man-in-the-middle type attacks where someone is sort of acting as if they're one of the devices to get access to the network, or is it actual bad devices that have been sort of infiltrated, or both?
It's both.
Okay,
so man in the middle, somebody actually, as you said, getting in the middle of the session, but also the device itself. Has the device been corrupted? Because a lot of our customers are concerned about supply chain. It's the same conversation, right?
Sure.
Is that computer you're carrying, has someone put a rogue chip in it that's sending back data to someplace they don't want data being sent back to, right? So there's that, all of the above is the conversation
And
there.
the opportunity to use AI and machine learning to predict, instead of necessarily having some sort of very locked down, manufacturing to production line, which for IoT is going to be very hard for a lot of those scenarios.
Well, a lot of those are really old devices. So what we tell folks today is just quarantine those, air gap those networks that you have on the manufacturing floor until you can get better security posture. They're running like 95 or XP in a lot of those environments, but they're just running a manufacturing line. But in the future, there is so much promise, I think, with AI and machine learning. And also, I had a conversation yesterday with some analysts talking about quantum computing. I said, you marry AI and machine learning with quantum computing, I can't even envision what the promise is of the future, but we have to be responsible. You know that. We have to be responsible, we have to be ethical, we have to think about it that way.
So we've got to approach it with very clear framework and guidelines.
Correct.
But the opportunities are gigantic. And it comes back to, I'll say, and I'll admit this, my favorite security feature that we have is conditional access, which it's super dopey and embarrassing that that's my favorite, but it's all AI based. It's all predicting whether someone accessing is who they say they are.
It's the person, it's the device, it's the data, the application, the infrastructure, and your geolocation.
Right.
And it's giving you a risk score. That is
Right.
that is the cornerstone of our zero trust strategy.
That's right. That's right. So, and it's been super awesome. I think you've given us a lot to think about as we sort of look at the overall space. You've talked a lot about some of the amazing announcements. So you had a big session, and then you have a couple other sessions that have come since then, so people can go watch these online and go find them.
They can. This is we're at number 7. You are my 7th session this week, but I'm excited because everyone wants to talk about cybersecurity. I've been in cyber since 2000. We used to make the joke that people spent more on their coffee budgets than they spent on their security budgets. I am thrilled to be in cyber in 2019. Trust me.
Because it's the time to be here.
It's the time to be
And then your podcast, people can go find this.
Yes, absolutely.
And they'll go watch this. So it's really awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Anne. And it's just been really wonderful, wonderful to talk through this. And so thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Corey. Have a great day.
Absolutely, yeah.